Hey everybody, welcome to our special GoPro Academy coaching session. I'm excited to be able to share some ideas with you today. For our GoPro Academy members, it's great to see you again. It's great to talk to you again. For those of you who are joining us as guests, you just decided to watch this on your own as kind of a one-off to check this out. Welcome. If you're watching live, let us know where you're connecting from. I see Michelle from Canada, Luann from California, Karen from Canada, Lori from Iowa City, Chris from Florida, Eric, hello from Argentina. It's great to see all of you. I just got back. Marina and I have been around the world well, not really around the world, but we've been in Europe for the past couple weeks. We just got back last night. A little bit jet lag, but not too bad. We flew from here in Vegas to London, spent a couple days in London. Then we flew to the Czech Republic, and we were in Prague in the Czech Republic. The O2 Arena holds 18,000 people. We did a 3-day event for 18,000 people. We took 2 days to rest, and then we did another 3-day event for 18,000 people. It was very exciting. And then we flew back here. I'm here in town for a little while. We'll head up to Utah for a 40,000 person event, which is going to be exciting. Not this weekend, but the following weekend. And then 1st of July, we take off to Fiji, then Australia, then Dubai, then Brazil. So a lot of stuff going on, but I do need to tell you one thing. Just to kind of give you a heads up, and actually my office, which is watching right now, the whole team supporting this, give them a heads up too. This next month, I'm going to tell you what the topic is going to be, and I'm going to tell you how we're going to do it. What I love so much about what we do is this is interactive. I see all of you, and we can answer questions and interact through this chat roll on this live event. But next month, I won't be able to go live. Here's why. At the end of this month, my niece's wedding is in Seattle, so I'm flying up to that in Seattle, and then July 1st or July 2nd? July 2nd, we get on an airplane and we start this worldwide tour. So I want to space this out properly to be able to do the next event, but I'm going to do it pre-recorded. So it's going to be a 3-hour pre-recorded event that's going to happen on same time of the day, but Saturday, July 7th. Saturday, July 7th. I'm going to record it ahead of time. I'll prepare it for you. I may ask you some questions about it. Not that I may, I will. Inside of the Facebook group, inside of GoPro Academy. I'll ask you some questions about what you'd like to see answered in it. And then on Saturday, July 7th, we will present it to you. The topic is going to be problem solving. How to solve problems in your organization, in your business. Large problems and small. Problems with your team, problems with your company, problems with international growth, problems with culture, problems with people who are disruptive within your organization, problems with people who are highly negative, problems with teams quitting, problems with people joining another company, problems from other companies raiding your company. There are a lot of different problems, but really there's about, I would say 8 to 10 key problems that you need to learn how to solve because they'll keep happening within your organization. You can protect against some, but they're going to keep happening over the course of your career. So I learned that the bigger the problem, the bigger the paycheck. So I decided to become a better problem solver. And that's what we're going to teach you how to do is become a better problem solver no matter what the problem is, but we're going to focus specifically on the network marketing profession and how you can use that, okay? So I'm excited about that. I'll be asking you for what some of your problems are that we can talk about. Because it can be personal problems, it can be all kinds of stuff that we can talk about, and then we will produce that and have it ready for you on Saturday, July 7th, okay? So, now, Anders, you asked about promoting events. You're welcome. Happy to do this about promoting events. I'm excited about today. This events really saved my network marketing career. They really did, because I was struggling with a lot of other aspects of my life. I was struggling with credibility. I was struggling with presentation. I was struggling with a whole bunch of different things. I wasn't very good at closing. I wasn't very good at follow-up. But events did so much of the work for me. Events did so much of the work because all I had to do was be good at getting people in front of somebody else or something else. And if I did, they'd get big results. So they would see the picture whether or not they saw it from me. They would see the credibility whether or not I had credibility. So let's start by talking about, a little congested, if you can tell by this, all the flights that we were on. We were on, I don't know, 14 hours of flights yesterday, something like that. So we'll be taking breaks as we go through this, some for you and some for me. But let's talk about why events first. Why events? And there's lots of different kinds of events. We'll talk about that in a moment, the different kinds. But for now, let's just talk about what events do generally, okay? One is they tell the story. When you go to an event, you hear the story of what's going on with the company. You hear the story of how to be successful. You hear the story of other people and what they're doing. You kind of see a bigger picture. And when I'm here at these boards, which camera am I looking at? Does it matter? It doesn't?
Whichever one you want.
Whichever one? Okay, cool. So one is the event itself tells the story. If you're not good at communicating, the event communicates. Second is a concept called social proof. If you're just one-on-one with somebody, you don't have social proof. And what social proof means, other people are doing this, other people are enjoying it, other people are having success, so maybe I could have success too. There's not enough social proof with just you. So if you have a small group, people can look around and say, are other people doing this? Are other people doing this? Because people want to follow the crowd. They don't want to be the first person doing something. So if there's a bigger group, let's say it's 50 people in the room, they can look around and say, well, it looks like this is working. If there's 100 people, 500 people, they go, wow, this is something significant. If it's 2,000 people or 5,000 people at your company convention, they're like, oh my gosh. When we do our GoPro Recruiting Mastery events and people, the social proof of how many people in the room are earning money, how many people in the room are having success, how many people in the room are happy and excited, optimistic about the future. So social proof is big. It also tells a story. So it tells a story and social proof. It's a big human need is to see that it's working from somebody else or something else. Social proof. Next. Relationships are formed. Face-to-face changes relationships. Relationships are formed at these events. Relationships happen at these events. And sometimes people who attend the session and they hear the story, but then they meet somebody in the hallway. They meet somebody at breakfast over coffee. They meet somebody at lunch. And they connect with somebody else, and that has even more social proof sometimes than the big room. Because we talk about it all the time. It's what happens in and around the event that is like the secret sauce. So relationships are big. You build friendships, you build relationships, and that causes people to see a different picture than they normally would have seen. For example, if I bring you to an event, and you know me, whatever, we're friends. I bring you to an event, and I'm telling you about this opportunity. you're going to be going, yeah, but he has a ulterior motive. Eric wants to see me join because it's going to help his business. So there's a little bit of, yeah, I'm not sure. But if you meet somebody in the hallway or at breakfast that isn't connected to you financially, but they're attending the same event, and they tell you, oh my gosh, this is for real. Oh my gosh, Eric is a great guy. Oh my gosh, this company, this product, this service is amazing. Now all of a sudden you're like, this third party thing gives it more weight, gives it more social proof, gives it more credibility. These relationships and conversations are really, really big. If it's a destination event, it gets you or your team or whoever's attending away from the day-to-day grind. The day-to-day grind for most people is the thief of their opportunity. The grind of your daily to-do list, your grind of taking care of your house or taking care of your kids or driving people around, the grind of maybe your job outside of network marketing. When you get on an airplane and you head to a destination event from your company, you get on an airplane, you immediately are in another environment and you can start dreaming again. And you can focus on your dream. Just for 3 days, you can focus. When you go unplug for a day in your local community and go to a training, you allow your imagination to dream again. If you watch it online, you're immediately back into the distraction mode. Distractions all over the place, popping up on your computer. But when you get disconnected and you get away from your day-to-day grind, it's a huge value. Why else do events work? How can I say this? It helps develop leaders. It gives you an opportunity to step into a different level of leadership. And what I mean by that is you have to become something of a leader to invite people that end up attending. While you're at the event, you'll be encouraged and rewarded for stretching into a different level of leadership with the team that you have there. Maybe even you'll be getting them together at breakfast or lunch and doing different things. We'll talk about that later. To communicate and inspire them while you're there. Maybe even you'll work yourself up to getting onto the stage and having an opportunity to present and show your team that you're a leader of value. So I've just seen over the years that events are as much a leadership development tool as a communication and training tool. Leaders are born at events. If you're taking notes, write this into the notes. Leaders are born at events. Leaders are born at events. Every major breakthrough that I've ever had in my network marketing career was at an event. I decided to go pro at an event. I decided that I was never going to miss an event at an event. I decided that I was going to bring more people at an event. I decided I was going to the next rank at an event. I decided I was going to be $1 million earner at an event, right? I decided I was going to build a legacy. More than taking care of myself, I was going to focus on contribution at an event. So leaders are born at events. So the events tell the story. There's social proof. There's relationships. It's way from day to day. It helps develop leaders. It's fun. It's an adventure. It's an adventure to get away. If you position it that way, if you look at it, let's go have an adventure. That's part of the reason that I was successful is, I'll add another one before I forget. It helps you create a stronger vision. So I used all of these things to promote. Once I understood why, the value, to tell the story, knowing that there was social proof, you're going to see in the room, you're going to get a stronger vision for this. You're going to build some relationships with like-minded people. You're going to get away from the day-to-day. You're going to, this event itself will help you become a stronger leader. We're going to have some fun. It's going to be an adventure. And you're going to see a bigger vision for yourself. So what I learned, and I will just tell you, the other reason for why, I'll do this in green because it's appropriate. If we talk about destination events, there's different kinds of events, but if we talk about like company conventions where you have to, an event where you have to leave your hometown and travel somewhere and stay in a hotel, you'll earn approximately $1,000 per person on your team per year that attend a major event, a destination event. If this isn't reason enough, there's a financial reason. Now, some people say, is that for real? $1,000 per year per person? Answer is yes. Now, it doesn't hold exactly. It's more of a rule of thumb than anything else, but here's what I would tell you. If you want to make, let's say $25,000 a year, with that formula, what do you need to do? You need to figure out a way to get 25 people to your company convention, your destination event. It's pretty simple, right? And do me a favor. Lisa at the beach asked me how I get that number. 30 years. That's how I get the number. Those of you that are watching this on the stream, tell me how many people you had on your team at your last company convention. How many people did you have from your team at your last company convention? Put it into the comments, please. I know there's a little delay, so I'll wait. Sarah in South Carolina said, I had 52 people with me last year and I made just under $60,000 last year with my network marketing company. There's one example. Anders, 47, how much are you making? Sarah in South Carolina has over 300 coming this year. Congratulations. So how many people did you have and how much are you making? Pink Panther had 1. Pam Girth had 0. Fire Laser Char had 24. Gary had 10. Edka had 20. So put in your comments how many people and how much are you earning annualized. How many people and how much you're earning. Had 31 people at GoPro, you made 60,000. You'd probably make more per person for a person attending GoPro. 75 and made 60,000 the month of convention. None and your business reflects this, that's all right. Put in the same comment, how many people and how much are you making? How many people at the last convention and how much are you making? $10 people, $5,000 a month. That's really, really way ahead of schedule, Gary. Congratulations. Now you want to keep that $5,000 a month, you need to get the number up to about 60. 8 people attended, made about 10,000. See what I'm saying? So here's what I will tell you. This number, this formula has held true for me for 30 years. So why is that? I don't know and I don't care. I don't care why the light turns on when I flip the switch. I just know that it's real. Why does this happen? You know, I don't know if you need to take that class. What you need to know is that it happens. So here's the deal. 25,000, 25 people. You want to make 50,000 a year? What do you need to do? You need to figure out a way to get 50 people to attend an event. You want to make 100,000 a year? What do you need to do? You need to figure out a way to get 100 people. You want to make $1 million a year. You got to figure out a plan to get 1,000. Got to figure out a plan to get 1,000. Now, I'm seeing some people had less attending and they're making more income. Like Abdirahman, yeah? Something like that. Abdirahman. He had 22, he's making 12,000 a month. You need to understand this. From time to time in network marketing, you might be in the right place at the right time. Your income might take a lucky jump. Everything's working. Like Preston had 2 people at the last event making 74,000 annually. Okay, it's whole team, not personally sponsored, whole team. Jackie had 1 person who made 7,000 last year. Here's what I'm saying. Your income might take a lucky jump, but if you don't become the leader and your team doesn't mature, your income's going to come down to this level. Given a long enough timeline, your income's going to come down to this level. So here's what I would tell you. If you're making, if you had 22 at the last convention, you're making $12,000 a month, which is what? 12,000 a month is what? 144,000? Is that something right? Yeah. So 144,000? Oh, look, they're doing that on the screen for me. Yeah. Nice. Yeah, $144,000. You need to figure out a plan to get your team to 144 to just keep the $12,000 a month. Because if you don't, over a long enough timeline, that income is going to come back down to this number. So be excited, but also be nervous. Be excited that you're making more than the $1,000 per person per year, but don't rest on it, because I've seen tons of people that had a spike in income and then they didn't focus on this, and then the leaders weren't developed and the group ended up falling back down on itself. Had 200 people at the last event making about 250,000. So Thomas from New Jersey asks, so Eric, so you are saying this is a yearly practice to put into network marketing business, and in turn my team makes that kind of money for themselves too? The answer is yes. Your team will make this too, based upon the number of people they have on their team. Now there are exceptions, of course. If you have an organization where you need to build 3 lines of business in order to be able to activate the compensation plan, and you only have 1 line at the event, then it's going to be less than that. Okay? If you only sponsored 1 person, then that group took off and there's 1,000 people attending the event, well, then you're going to have a lower number than that. But in a relatively balanced organization, over time, this number is going to hold pretty true. Hempress said, I got a lucky jump for sure. Income is holding though, and this year's conference is in 2 weeks. You're going to have hundreds this year. Fantastic. So just know that in all of these, this is, if you were a publicly traded company, I'll put it this way. If you were a publicly traded company, I would buy or sell your stock based upon, this would be one of the biggest numbers I would want to know. How many did you have at the last one? Yes, but you know, if you're selling, if you are a publicly traded company, yes, I only had 22 people, but I'm making 12,000 a month. I would say, if you don't have a plan to get your numbers to 144, at least 144 at the next convention, I'm nervous about buying you even though you're making $12,000 a month. But if you could show me a plan that how you're going to get there and beyond there, now I'm excited to buy into the future for you. If you had 1 person, if you're at 0 right now, I've seen some people are sitting at 0. Chattanooga says, I'm at 0. She's brand new. He or she is brand new. Well, welcome, first of all. And guess what's the first thing you got to do? You got to get a plan to get some to the next one. And then you're going to start the income process. And then from there to go from event to event to event to event. Got it? All right. So does this make sense? All of this makes sense, I hope. Anybody have any questions on this particular formula? Because this particular formula is a big deal. I'll wait for a second. If anybody has any questions on this. Nobody? I'll get to how you're going to do it. Almost 0, but moving. There you go. I'm sorry I can't pronounce your name properly. Abdirahman? Yeah, something like that. He said, you're right this year, I'm going to take 150 with me. See what I'm saying? Your income's going to go really, really big. How to build a plan, I'm going to teach you how to do that. I just want you to see if you understand the formula here, okay? You understand why, and you understand the formula. Because once you understand this, it's a real driver. This is the best shortcut I know to be able to create an annual income and to hold the annual income over a long period of time. I will tell you also, this number is higher. Like if you bring people to a GoPro Recruiting Mastery event, that's a high event outside of your company convention, you'll probably make significantly more than $1,000 per person for the people attending that event. If you live in somewhere where it's very difficult to get a visa in order to travel to your company's convention, well then your number might be 3,000 or 4,000 for every person that you have to do that, because the degree of difficulty is higher. If you live in South Africa or in Australia and you have to come to the United States in order to be able to get to an event, this number is going to be much, much higher. But generally around the world, this is what will work, okay? I think we got it. We got it. All right, cool. So, why events? All of these reasons, emotional reasons, leadership reasons, and then this is the big reason. $1,000 per person per year, okay? So, let's talk about the different kind of events. Then we'll take a quick break. Let's start from big and go to small, okay? So you have your big company conventions. Your big company conventions. This is an absolute priority. This must happen. You got to build this into your culture. We're going to talk about building this into your event culture. And then you have regional events where it might be a drive instead of fly. The company might be doing regional events, or your leadership might be doing regional events. Third, in many areas, there's monthly local events. Maybe it's a Super Saturday type of an event. It's a one-day opportunity or one-day training, or a combination of both. You have weekly events. You have home events. You have, more and more today, online events. Zoom calls, Facebook Lives, Skype, right? All of these different kinds of events. And they have different strategies for recruiting to them, and I'm going to talk about the different strategies in our next hour, or before we're done, I'm going to talk about different strategies. And then there are some industry events. I'll talk about the ones that we have. There's GoPro Recruiting Mastery. GoPro Recruiting Mastery we do once a year. You want to talk about building vision and social proof? Once a year. Our next event is December 4th through the 6th. I'm not sure if there's links on this page where you can learn more about it. But these are the events where we have, in the past, we've had people like Tony Robbins, Richard Branson, Pitbull, Robert Kiyosaki, Les Brown, you name it. This year, we're going to be announcing very soon a huge lineup of amazing speakers, plus $1 million earners, et cetera, et cetera. This is a huge belief-building tool, GoPro Recruiting Mastery. There's an event called The Most Powerful Women in Network Marketing, MPW. That's in April of next year, right? April of next year. And if you can just ask somebody, ask one of the admins or whatever if you want to learn more about that. That's in April of next year. That's a women's event. It's super, super awesome. Yeah, April 25th through the 27th at the Paris Hotel. And then I have an event called Beyond Leadership. That's a leadership coaching event. I mean, so those are our events that we do. In addition, what we're doing right now is an online event, right? You get people to attend this, you're going to do better. You're going to make more if people are attending an online event like this. So these are the different kinds. Big, down to, I mean, you could even say 2-on-1, could be a little 2-on-1 event, or 8, a 1-on-1. Inviting people to a 1-on-1 is something that will help you. So if you want to go small to big, 1-on-1, 2-on-1, online, home events, weekly events, monthly events, regional events, big company conventions. And then outside of company, but inside of a profession, GoPro Recruiting Mastery, Most Powerful Women, Beyond Leadership. That's what we do, okay? In addition to what we do monthly online with you inside of GoPro Academy. So this is why the events. These are the different kinds of events. And what we're going to do, we're going to take a quick break. But when we come back, I'm going to start to talk to you. I'm going to break down from event to event to event. I'm going to start with big company conventions, because that's such a powerful tool. Because you know, the 1,000 per person per year relates to big company conventions. It doesn't relate to a 1-on-1. It doesn't relate to your home meeting. You're not going to make as much per year from a person attending a home meeting as a prospect as you will somebody traveling to attend your company convention. So I'm going to talk about big company conventions first, and then we're going to move down the line and teach you how to invite to those functions and to get results, okay? So we'll take a break. I don't know what time it is. Let me look. It is 12:33 my time. Let's take a break for about 7 minutes. We'll come back at 12:40 and we'll continue, okay? Enjoy the break.